storytelling itself was about pauses and silence. I say the words between the silence is the story. All the YouTubes, all the digital media will not compromise or compensate for that one little story that you have shared. Don't say I don't have time, because they say childhood is like, the sand that goes through a sieve.
Welcome to Bukmuk Bookverse. My name is Shefali Malhotra. In this podcast, we will talk about kahaniya, kitabein, and bachpan. Today, we are truly honored to welcome our first guest on this podcast. None other than a pioneer in storytelling, not just in India, but internationally also. Our guest has traveled in 48 countries with the stories and is a 3-time TEDx speaker. She has 45 years of experience in storytelling. Let's welcome Geetha Ramanujan. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for being here.
What an honor.
Thank you. And it's truly a blessing for us to begin our podcast with your presence. You've been my mentor, my mother figure in storytelling. So I've known you for the last 10 plus years. And this is a dream come true to have you as our first guest. Thank you so much for coming.
What a pleasure. What a coincidence.
Yes.
And I'm so happy that I'm here at your studio and with your family now that we are kind of inaugurating this
Yes.
Bookverse, right?
Yes.
So,
Bookverse.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very much. Yeah.
Thank you. And I think it all started for you in the library.
Yeah, because library is a place which was last. Um, uh, what I would say is the last posting in 1996, because nobody wanted to uh, have that post. In those days, librarians were not paid too well.
Yeah.
So after being an English and social science teacher, they said now you have to be the librarian. This was 1992. So I was thinking, what am I going to do in the library, right? So initially it was books and reading, and I also took this opportunity to kind of interview some very great personalities at the study center in the Krishnamurti Foundation. But then in 1996, it so happened that children were not reading. And I said, why don't I tell them a story? Anyway, I've been telling stories for English and social science. Why not tell them a story? And so that's how it all began. So he walked and walked and walked, with little voice modulations. And then he opened the door, and tongue, the bell rang. And then the children asked, what happened next? I said, if you read from page 35 of that book called Wuthering Heights, you'll get the rest of the story. And that's how the whole thing started. Somebody said, why don't you do a story for us in the city? And destiny has its ways. So it's a recipe, right?
Yes.
Maybe deep down, I had put the seed of, becoming a storyteller. You never know.
Yes.
Because in my family, there's nobody except the usual family storytelling. But then I thought I was more a reader first. So then from reading to storytelling was like a shift. So storytelling to reading now, and then from reading to storytelling then.
Yeah.
So that's how it all began.
Wow. So basically, we read to tell.
Yes.
And then we tell to also read.
Exactly.
Make children read.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Amazing.
Yeah.
In fact, that is also very one important thing, because we have noticed in between, as you said, children were struggling then also. They were not reading.
Yes.
Children are struggling even more so now because of the screen time and everything, that they're not reading. This is where the parents or the teachers or the storytellers can intervene, make books alive by telling stories. So that is basically a crux that I would like you to navigate this podcast, this discussion forward, that how can a parent or an educator help a child to pick up a book? Because books ultimately contain stories. And if we can fall in love with storytelling, you fall in love with books.
That's very true.
Lovely.
So, I think now it has become even more challenging.
Yes.
There are more authors now. There are more books now. And there are a section of people who read, but just throwing the books in front of them and to feel the book itself, I think is a great first step.
Yes.
So if a parent does not look at the back of the cover and see what is the price, but just buy the books and just put them in
Yes.
front of a child, at least the child can smell, see some pictures. I think that can be a very good beginning, which is what I used to do in the library.
Yes.
In those days, when I was growing up, there was no other thing except a big Murphy radio in my house and only books. There was nothing else. So we didn't have any distractions.
Yes.
So in those days, I think people did read. So a lot of reading was the only alternative which happened. And then there were not many authors. So all of us, I remember it was just 10 paisa when I was thing. My father used to buy these Russian books and just bring it home. And we used to fight for books.
Yeah.
And in fact, many parents' complaint was that they are not studying, but they are reading books.
There was a complaint now.
There was a complaint.
Avid readers,
Oh.
mothers and parents will agree.
Yeah.
Children read and then they stop them from reading. And
Yeah. When the exam.
I'm also guilty as
Yeah.
charged because my son reads too much. Talking about that, you also are a best-selling author.
Yeah.
Right. And I've read your stories. I've read your books. You want to talk about them. And they are amazing. They're basically handpicked stories from
Yes.
around the world.
Yes.
Please talk about.
Yeah. So one is Tales from the World. So I'm very happy that Penguin came forward and they said, we've had authors who read or write books and then tell the story of how they became an author. But you are the reverse. You're first a storyteller.
Yes.
And then now we want you to be an author and put your experiences. So it was from 48 countries. I tried to kind of assimilate and put all the stories. And I thought instead of just putting the stories, I will give a foreword as to how I found that story, being a storyteller and actually visiting those countries, and also an after fact. So they liked that very much. So I did do that. And I think I sent them more than 200 stories, but they picked 24.
Wow.
And that is how the first book is from 20 countries. And now they want me to bring out another book, which is why I'm here in Delhi now. And this is 50 greatest stories.
I look forward to read it.
Yeah. So I'm very excited that I'm being called to author the book because I was not too sure, because there are many great, like Sudha Murthy and other people who are also being published by Penguin and they have good reach.
Yes.
So I was wondering whether, this book of mine is ever going to reach, but they're kind of happy.
Yes.
So after the first book, they asked me to write one more, which is the How and Why Tales. And those stories have not been there anywhere. They are all created stories. So I'm very glad that many people say the first time I'm seeing how an orchid got its stem,
Yeah.
or how the probably the twilight, what was the dawn of twilight, or so many other lovely questions. So I still have lot of those stories.
There should be more of follow-up for how and why.
So we can call it when and where also. So I think
Wow.
children ask questions. They're short stories. And I think that was the third book actually.
Amazing. And you also run Kathalaya International Academy of Storytelling. I've attended your course personally. My take home was also that stories, how do I find my own story, right?
Wonderful.
And you do a lot of wonderful work. I don't know how, but you made me write a new story. And I thought I could never write a story, right? So that's what, if you can tell parents also, how can they discover new stories for the child? Because every time they may or may not be a book around. But every house, every culture, every lineage is enriched with stories. And you have a beautiful way of taking it out. Please, if you can guide parents, ki kahaniyan kahan se milenge unko?
So first step itself is reading is a skill.
Yeah.
So I thought if you don't start reading as a parent also, many people now who come for my course, we have finished 182 batches.
Wow.
So it's a wonder. I'm waiting to complete my 200.
Yeah, there'll be grand celebration then.
So I tell a lot of parents come for the sessions, for the course, and they say I've got books for my children, but my children are not reading. I said, if you don't read, because children emote parents, so I tell them at least pretend to read. And I think for the sake of your child, why don't you start reading for yourself one page a day, so that it's never too late to begin reading. My mother is 92. She just swallows books.
Yes.
So I think it's a skill. You have to enhance it by reading aloud every day. That is why many people don't read now.
Yes.
Because it's not something which you can buy from the market. It's like love, beauty. You cannot buy these
Buy it
things. So
from-
you'll have to develop that skill. That is the first step. Second, please attend workshops. Please attend courses. I'm not saying you should come to my course, because when you attend the course, nothing like someone speaking to you and guiding you through how to read for your children, how to create a story. So creativity itself happens only when there is a pause.
Yes.
Right? So if you're continuously, if here the library is full with all your chores and outside and tension, from where will you have creativity?
Even adults are overstimulated now.
Exactly. So the definition of creativity itself is it's a spontaneous overflow of thought that happens at that moment.
Yes.
So when you organize creativity, it is no longer creative. But how will you get that spontaneous unless there is a silence? So I think storytelling itself is about pauses and silence. I say the words between the silence is the story.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Words between
Words
the silence.
between the silence
Wow.
is the story. So if you don't get your time for yourself and for or how to manage that, you have a lot of people, how to manage your stress. So maybe meditations, yoga, a lot of things that you'll have to think for the sake of your child, because you are looking at the future of your children becoming holistic human beings. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is not through the medias and the instas and the social media, but the knowledge is mainly of what the parent is sitting with the child and actually speaking to the child, reading aloud to the child. So this is why they call it Upanishad in those days. Upa means sitting close. So the child should feel your energy. You should be able to feel, touch your child. And that touch will go a long way for that child. He'll never forget that my mother or my father sat with me. And this is no excuse for dads that they are working. I think both parents must take turns and please, at least for 5 to 10 minutes, if you can't create a story, tell your own stories.
Yeah.
You know, the child doesn't know anything about the parents except that my mother's a good cook or she's a get up, all instructional, right? So we call it instructional listening also. But all this, if you want to know, take your time off. We've had a lot of mothers who are breastfeeding their children also to come for our courses. One person brought her mother. So one question that came this time was, ma'am, how can you be creative? So this is why I thought you cannot become creative. You have to be creative. You have to inculcate that habit in you, but that will come only when you give your inner space.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think
I can totally vouch for it. When I started, when I attended your first course 10 years back, my friends and family who knew me before and who know me now are completely, they can see a 360-degree shift in me, because I used to stammer a lot. Like when in my school days, I never attended any debate, nothing. To that, telling stories to a gathering of 2000 plus people, sitting here with you, having a courage to be present online for a podcast, storytelling. And literally when I remember the first day I attended your course and went back home. It's a 3 days course and I was like, chalo theek hai, jo seekha hai usko implement karte hain. And I told my son the first story. And he was like,
Wow.
आप कल भी जा रहे हो. So I feel that storytelling made me a better parent as well. It's very therapeutic. It it became very therapeutic for me, and I didn't realize how it is also transformative and meditative for me also.
Wow.
That because I look forward to telling stories,
Yes.
because that's the only time probably that I go inward. कि एक सेशन के लिए, लेकिन जो उससे पहले वाला प्री वर्क होता है व्हिच यू टेल एंड एवरीथिंग, एंड ट्रूली आई मीन आई एम टेलिंग दिस ऑन कैमरा, आई मेडिटेट ऑन यू बिफोर टेलिंग अ
Oh
स्टोरी.
my God. Yes.
I like go back in the energy that ma'am has taught and
Yeah.
give your best. So
Yeah.
it has completely transformed my journey as a human being as well.
Wow.
So I would like to tell parents that tell stories not just for your children's sake, but for your own sake only.
Yes.
Because a child in us also deserve this.
Yeah.
So parenting is like a small window where we get to relive the bachpan again.
True.
So इसको बहुत अच्छे से हम यूज कर सकते हैं. And if you have small children around, biggest blessing, because आपको ऑडियंस ढूंढने बाहर नहीं जाना है.
I know.
You have a dedicated audience guinea pig at home. And kahaniya, as you say, that
Yeah.
ki childhood stories and all
Yeah.
those childhood
Yeah.
stories, probably we go back to our childhood and we heal what
Yeah.
needs to be
Yeah. Yeah.
held or what needs to be listened. It's a beautiful journey.
Right.
So can you also tell our parents or grandparents or the first time teachers who are not performers, right?
Mhm.
They can come and attend your course, but if you can give them a 2 minutes
Yes.
crash course,
Yeah.
how to tell stories, how to
Yes.
make stories come alive.
Okay. So, first of all, I think we don't have to be inhibited, especially when you're at your own home. Why are you scared of telling your story to your child? Because nobody's going to, assess you at that moment. Probably your child is going to say that, what story? I'm not interested. Right? So that is one reason that I say don't feel dissuaded. Attend workshops, attend courses. This is the first step, I would say. And please invest in yourself. If you don't know something and if you want to learn, don't have these things that you're ready to go for a trip, you're ready to pay for a hotel. One scoop of ice cream today is 200, 300 rupees.
True.
There's no chocolate less than 100 rupees. So you're ready to buy that without batting an eyelid, or go to Haldiram's or somewhere to get food, and the food bill is quite high. But when it comes to a book, you hesitate. When it comes to investing in yourself to pay for your workshop or for your course, you say, what is the use?
Yeah.
So what is the use should be removed, because everything that you're investing is because you have the child in mind. Have that first. How will I make my child get interested in a book, in knowledge, and not just be with the gadgets?
Yeah.
Because that is a complaint that comes. How do I grab his attention? And the only way you know how to grab his attention is shouting, screaming. So your voice matters, your tone matters. So many things matter.
Yeah.
You might know it, but unless you have somebody else to guide you and facilitate you, and this is what I do. So people identify when I'm saying something in the story, and then the course becomes interesting. So don't hesitate. That is one thing I want to say. Please don't hesitate to invest, to go, to take that walk and actually go and attend the course or attend a workshop on storytelling. This is the first step on effective parenting. Today, everything is a skill. Everything needs to be learned, because today's children are not like the older children. There is no such thing as implicit obedience. They want reasoning.
Yes.
Sometimes they know better than the parent. So you need to equip yourself, since you've brought the child into the world, right?
Yes, the children are smarter than us.
Very smart. And they have a way to question. So you need to have that patience, and to please take time out for yourself to be able to do that. So initially begin with what you know. Then once you equip yourself, and just a little bit, I thought, when you put your interest itself, if there is a sentence like, once upon a time there was a crow, and your voice, and the child is bored with your voice, then why don't you change? Once upon a time, little eyes lighting up, there was a crow. So if you have the enthusiasm, suppose you think you can make the sound, then you can do, there was a crow.
Yeah.
And what did he do? Yeah, I know that story. Yeah. But then the child will listen when you tell it in a different way. Yeah. So you can probably put some voice modulations and don't feel shy. Just do it. Just get up. Use your body language.
Yeah. Don't be a
Yeah.
parent for this time.
Yeah. So if you say, I can't make the sounds, it's okay. Whatever you can make. Ka, 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 ka. You know the crow. See. I can see a crow outside the window. Can you see? So just look at your own settings. And then I don't like to read this book. Okay, let's get that book, you know. But when you speak itself, if there's enthusiasm in your voice, and if your eyes are lit up, and you're actually addressing that child, and you're saying, Beta, just listen now. You know what happened today? Huh? Then the child also will be interested. What do you want to know? Hmm? I'm tired. So the
Yeah.
minute the mother says this, why will the child listen?
Yeah.
And then no instructions. Did you do your homework? Did you do that? Did you do? The child is going to run away because the only thing he hears from the mother is all the instructions. So you say, today I wanted to share something very, very interesting. Yeah. What? You know that rasgulla. So then the child will ask questions, right? So make that curiosity, that make the child first come close to you. That child trusts that mother is not only going to give instructions, but she's also going to, yeah. So I think this can be the first step.
Beautiful. And one very important question in today's time and days, the digital dilemma. We see a lot of storytelling in the
Yeah.
form of YouTube, podcast, screens. What is your take on that?
So let me tell you something which has surpassed time is speaking, talking, and the human touch. So we may have robots, we may have everyone to do everything, we can reach the height of technology in the world, but there will be a deep down craving and a loneliness that is the biggest disease today.
Yes.
And the loneliness is not because you're not with your parents. The loneliness is inside you because there's so much happening, so much available. Everything is there, and yet I'm feeling very lonely. I'm feeling something is missing. And that's because we are losing the human touch. So you might show your child, say, listen to this story and go and do your work. Yeah. All that is fine. But the child will certainly remember that one story you actually told
Wow.
as
That's
a
beautiful.
human being. You know, that human story, especially if it's your story, that child will never forget because it goes with a touch.
Yes.
We say it's the dose, which is called TLC, tender loving care. So, tender loving care is nothing, just a touch.
Yeah.
Touching your child, saying, Beta, just looking into the eyes and saying, you know, today I'm very tired because this is what happened in my office. And the child will remember that story. All the YouTubes, all the digital media will not compromise or compensate for that one little story that you have shared. So I think despite everything, deficit of attention span, all the exposure, what the child will love is the story you have told. Also, I think you need to monitor a bit of what your child is watching.
Yes.
Just don't, I know it's very difficult, but then please just structure his day also very, very subtly so that the child is also like kind of distracted. Give him some actual games to play.
Yeah.
Give him tasks. Tell him to help you and make him the leader. You know, there is a new thing where the child is teaching the parent the pronunciation. So you
Yes.
don't have to say, I am the best. Let your child teach you. See, let's read together. Yeah. You read one verse, I will read another verse. Like that. I think the quality time with that
Yes.
child.
Yes.
Don't say I don't have time. Because they say childhood is like, you know, the sand that goes through a sieve. And before you know, the
It's over.
children have grown up and they don't need you anymore. And the foundation stage, as you said, is most important stage. So please be with your child.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much.
Thank
That's
you.
easy for the younger parent when your child is still like under 7,
Yes.
bedtime reading, because for the child still you are the universe.
True.
Once
Very
they go
true.
out, 7
Yes.
plus,
Yeah.
be the friend, be a co-reader, and then as it happens in my case, my son is a teenager now. Now he comes and tells me the story. And he does the opposite. Like you just said, na, you know what? This. I said, okay, fine. Then go read this book. Literally, the tables have turned now.
Yeah.
He comes and tells me this,
Yeah.
and then I have to read the book and everything. So, but it's a beautiful journey.
Yeah. No, but that also happened, I'm so sure, because you exposed him to reading when he was young.
Yes. So, we
now
started
as a
when he was 3
teenager,
years old.
even if it reverses, it's perfectly fine because you know that he's a voracious reader
Yes.
now.
So, we are book buddy now.
Yeah.
Which is a beautiful journey, and this
Yeah.
is what I really want to emphasize, because since I run a library for the last 10 plus years, I've seen lots of parents, interacted with a lot of parents. So even when a young parent say that they don't have time to read to the child, I said you have a beautiful window called bedtime, because your child, if the child under 7 or under
Yeah.
5 still needs you to tuck in,
True.
use that time to
True.
tell the story.
Very true.
So that's one of the reasons why I thought, like,
Yeah.
let's invite the beautiful personality, the beautiful subject matter experts. And अगर इसमें एक भी parent convert
Exactly.
हुआ,
Exactly.
children comes later, parents
Yeah.
come first.
Yeah.
That's our
Yeah. I think transformation should be the key.
yes, transformation. So our motive is solved here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much,
So in
ma'am.
the age-old way, age-old thing, they say all dhans. Dhanam is giving.
Mhm.
So storytelling is also a dhan,
Yes.
and reading is also. So I think what you're doing is something beautiful, because the highest form of dhan was Vidya Dan. And if that Vidya Dan is done, it's nothing but through knowledge and mainly through books. And I think you are doing such a wonderful job. I'm so happy that that you're doing this dhan actually for parents, because hardly anyone would take a business which is not remunerative, right? So
And this
every
is-
other business is now there. People are opening resorts, but I'm very glad that you chose to be
Thank you so
surrounded by
much, ma'am.
books, and I think this itself is a big dhan for parents.
Thank you. Coming
I
from
wish
you,
I'm wishing you all the best to
Thank you.
continue this journey for many more years to come.
Thank you. Thank you. With your blessings. And I truly feel that there is a hand holding us.
Yes.
So there were many tough times as well.
Yes. Yes.
But then when I see a reader and a
Yes.
change in that reader personally, including my son, other readers also. Nahi, yeah, I mean, the passion has, I mean, this has to continue. Now it's your problem to make it a profit or not, whatever it is.
Absolutely.
So with God's blessing
But
and
it's
your
a
blessing,
great,
thank you
yes,
so much.
It's very giving. That's why it heals us.
Yes, it
See,
heals us. So it's a
healed
journey
us.
for me
Yeah,
also.
for me, the 182 batches and 40 batches I'm completing in the diploma course. I have
Wow.
2 levels now, know
Yes,
that.
yes.
So 40 batches in diploma, I'm seeing each student. Every student, I would say, is transformed.
Yes, it's a
99% of the
self-journey for us.
storytellers you see around, and those who have opened libraries and books, they're all my students. And I'm so glad that this one little seed is growing into forest.
Yes,
Yeah.
and we are all your legacies.
Yes.
I hope we
Wonderful.
can carry it forward. I
Yeah,
mean, if I
it's
can say
all
you're like
God's
a
grace.
one lamp lights multiple lamps.
Very true. Very
And
true.
then it grows from
Yeah,
here. Thank you so much. And I would also like to know about Antardhwani, which is something very unique that you have launched last year only. Can you please tell something about it?
About 2 years back. So
Okay.
I completed 25 years of Kathalaya. And as you were saying, you feel transformed, right? You started your journey, kind of. Many people say that. So I felt that the inner voice. Also today, people are looking for something. They're all very stressed, and outer projections are easy to teach. I can be a great storyteller, and there are storytellers, but many people are still unresolved within.
Yes.
So I thought, instead of just telling that I'm a therapist, I'm a counselor, I didn't want these labels. I said, why not I have something called the inner voice, which is a voice of consciousness. And it also talks about the different kinds of love. When we look at anything like love, belief, it is only one thing. But you don't know that there are 8 different types of love.
Oh.
There are There is something called silence, there is something called quietness, there is something called calmness, which we call sthirata in Sanskrit. So, all this, I wanted to go deeper into the layers of the silence, into the layers of love, into the layers of a person's inner self. So, through meditation therapies like counseling, instead of all that, just through a meditative journey within, I thought I will expose the people to the inner voice, which is what I call voice of consciousness.
And when's
So
the
I'm-
next Antadwani happening?
The next Antadwani is in February.
Okay.
Right now, there's something called Antakarana, which is happening with the Aurobindo. Aurobindo completed 100 years. So it's Aurobindo's 100th anniversary. So they have requested me to do this course for them in
Wow.
Orodham, which is
Wow.
January 26th. And the next one I'm doing at the Himalayan Writing Retreat. This is on February 28th
Wow.
for 4 days residential, because this needs a quiet space and be lovely to do it in retreats.
Yes. So all the details are there on Kathalaya.org.
And on Kathalayas.org.
I look forward to attend one of this
Please do.
year only,
Yes.
because I've been thinking of going for Vipassana, but I think this is better. And we'll get to be in your company
Yes,
also.
I think many people have started feeling that.
Yes.
So I don't want to call myself some Guruma or something like that. I just want to be as, I think people should know that there is no higher thing.
Yeah.
Just normal dialogue, conversation can be very healing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Welcome.
We will not let you go without telling a story for our audience.
Okay. So this is something I thought even for parents it would help. So once upon a time, that's how stories begin, right? Once upon a time, there was a camel. And she was a very proud mother camel. And this mother camel, stood tall and with a little hump on her back. And as she was standing, and there was a little one. And the little one was at her feet. And you know how little ones are. They always look up to the mother. So this little one, she looked up and she saw her mother. And she also started doing. So then, after a while, the difference is the little one is curious. So I call her Curious Auto. So she looked up and Mummy knew. And she said, Mummy, can I ask you one question? Mummy said, yeah, sure. Mummy, why only we have this hump on our back? Well, beta, it's because we travel such long distances in the desert. Oh. Mummy, yeah, ask me. Mummy, why only we have long eyelashes? Yeah, because, when the wind blows, then the wind will, the eyebrows will protect us, the eyelashes. So that's why we have long, curvy eyelashes. One more question. Yeah, sure. So we have flat hooves and bent legs. Why? Because when we go in the Registan, we'll be able to have a firm footing, right? So, thank you, Mama. Now, inside the Curious Auto, question is arising, but then not to disturb the mummy. So she waits. And then mummy knows she's restless. So she's, Mummy, sure, Mummy, ask the question. Okay, ask. Mummy, you told me that we have a hump because we have to store water. And then you said eyelashes because of that wind, and then the foot because we have to travel long way in the desert, Mummy. But Mummy, then why are we in the zoo? And Mummy had never thought of that. She had no answer. So, what I tell parents, your child has all the potential. You teach them that all this is there, but you're keeping them in a zoo.
Oh. That is some food for thought.
Yes.
And beautiful story. Thank you
Thank
so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. And thank you, listeners. I hope you
Yes.
enjoyed this. And ma'am's books links would be there in the captions. Please do buy them. Please do buy other amazing books as well, stories as well, and come back again for
And also attend our courses.
attend our
Courses.
yes, attend courses. So you will find all the details at kathalaya.org. There are beautiful courses coming up. Attend the sessions, as ma'am said, and equip yourself, because children will ask questions just like that little logo. So the more equipped we are,
Yeah.
the better parent we can be. Thank you so much for joining, and thank you once again, ma'am.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Come back again at Bukmuk Bookverse. Thank you.